Oh, God! Boy, he runs fast for a little guy.
Drop the, just Facebook. It's clean.
Welcome to the show. You're one-on-one with Wes the Sports Guy here on YouTube, BitChute, and Rumble, and online all the time at westhesportsguy.com. Make sure you bookmark that site. With spring training games starting this Sunday, you'll get the MLB preview of all 30 MLB teams at westhesportsguy.com. All the social media links are there for you, conveniently located at the top of the page. Again, bookmark westhesportsguy.com. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell below to get notified when all these videos are posted on this channel. I've got a very huge, exciting announcement to show you next week, since we're going into the month of March Madness, all that stuff that comes with it. But I've got a very, very special announcement to show you guys, and I'll be posting it here at YouTube, BitChute, and Rumble. Subscribe and hit that bell to get notified when the latest videos are posted on the channels, YouTube, BitChute, and Rumble. You can find those links at westhesportsguy.com. Just teasing you. With that announcement that comes with what I said for the 100th episode of the new avenues that I'm pursuing for not just this channel, but for my content in general. And I can't thank you enough for liking, subscribing, leaving a comment, all that stuff. If you're following me, interacting with me on social media, I appreciate it. And if you want basically just opinionated and analytical views of sports, basically the four major ones, there's some other topics in general that I talk about from a week-to-week basis and sort of daily on some social media sites and at westhesportsguy.com. That's why I stress enough, bookmark that site. That's where you're going to get most of where I will interact with you and where you see most of my content. It's going to be directly through westhesportsguy.com.
Get on with it!
Big announcement coming. You'll see that on Monday, hopefully. I'm definitely going to be advertising that quite a bit on social media, but again, follow all the links at westhesportsguy.com. Getting into it, the topic of the day, Russell Wilson, quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks. Apparently, he might want to be traded, but maybe not. I mean, according to Adam Schefter on a podcast, Adam Schefter decided to say that, hey, guess what? I have a little nugget that I'd like to share with you. Apparently, Russell Wilson does not want to play in Seattle. At least that might be why he gets the reputation that he gets. This is also the same Adam Schefter, NFL insider extraordinaire of ESPN, who decided to publicly show medical documents of Jason Pierre-Paul when he had a firework incident with blowing off a couple appendages of one of his hands quite a few years back. Adam Schefter thought it was a good idea to share that information and defended it. Also, this is the same Adam Schefter that decided he didn't all the way give out personal information of referees for a New Orleans Saints LA Rams championship game a few years ago in the NFC championship game when there was a blatant pass interference call that we all know that should have been called. Adam Schefter decided that it was prudent to put the living cities of those referees that were involved in that game. This is the same Adam Schefter who I have obviously a problem with, if you can't tell right now. I have a problem with him. But this is the same Adam Schefter that does stuff like that on a day-to-day basis with ESPN. He was with the NFL Network before that. He was more credible, in my opinion, at that time, but then got paid a buttload of money, I'm sure, by ESPN to go do his thing over there. But again, going back to the story at hand, Russell Wilson. Apparently Adam Schefter decided to break this on a Waddle and Sylvie show podcast, radio show, whatever it may be, by saying this quote. Make sure to get the quote correct, say it correctly, and show it to you on the screen. Quote, "If the Bears struck a deal with the Seahawks, Russell Wilson would happily accept his walking papers to the Windy City." End quote. Is that really news? I mean, what evidence does he have? Now, that's just one quote from the show. If If you want to listen to that, go for it. I don't fault you for it. I'm not going to listen to it because I've already said my piece about Adam Schefter, what I think about Adam Schefter and his sources. Going back to the question at hand, Russell Wilson, is there any chance that the Seattle Seahawks will be stupid enough to trade Russell Wilson? The answer is quite simply no. It's not happening. So hold your horses, Seahawks fans. It's not going to happen. If Seattle is stupid enough to trade Russell Wilson, that means Pete Carroll's on his way out. Because Pete Carroll's not going to be the head coach for very long if that happens. The reason why Pete Carroll has won a Super Bowl as a head coach, sure, it's because of the defense. We'll stop short of saying it was Russell Wilson. But the reason why the Seahawks are even relevant as a football franchise is in large part due to Russell Wilson as their quarterback. It's a third-round pick. Nobody saw him taking over that starting job when he first came to the league, and he took it from day one, essentially, when he was drafted by the Seahawks. So credit where credit is due. Russell Wilson is definitely one of the best quarterbacks in the league today. Now, for Bear fans, if you gave up your entire franchise and control of it to get Russell Wilson, the Seahawks are still not making that trade. It's not going to happen. Don't get your hopes up. Sorry, Chicago. As of right now, you have Mitchell Trubisky as your quarterback. I don't expect him to be your quarterback next year, but as it stands right now, you're not going to get Russell Wilson. Don't even think about it. It's not happening. So this is a bunch of hullabaloo about nothing, really. And it all really started because Russell Wilson decided to say on the Dan Patrick Show that he wasn't sure whether or not the Seahawks were looking to trade him or not. Just speculative. Just small talk, really, on the Dan Patrick Show. And that really started this whole thing. It fueled this whole insider madness about whether or not the Seahawks would be stupid enough to trade him. Now, I've made some points about the quarterback carousel, how it's already kind of started with Jared Goff being traded from the LA Rams to the Detroit Lions for Matthew Stafford. Picks were involved as well. Deshaun Watson still doesn't want to play for the Houston Texans. A lot could happen. We're still not even officially starting free agency frenzy in the NFL. That's going to be happening in March, as I alluded to, March Madness. All that's coming. But rest assured, Russell Wilson's not going to get traded. No matter what Adam Schefter thinks or says on Twitter or on ESPN radio shows or podcasts, any of that nature, any of that kind of stuff. It's not happening. So I only bring this to your attention to say, first and foremost, I don't like Adam Schefter. I have my problems with him. You might like him. You might like the information. Sure, he does provide pretty good information lately, but he's had two things that I gotta disagree with him vehemently about that. So that's just my opinion of it. Time for my feel-good story of the week, and I know we're getting off to a very, you could say rough start to the year. I know I haven't been a lot of feel-good stories out there, but this one is definitely sports-related. This one is also definitely puts a better spin on your day-to-day life if you're having issues when it comes to, you forgot to put on a pair of socks when you're walking out the door this morning or going out to eat, wherever that may be, and you forgot your wallet. Something like that. Just something simple, not, catastrophic or anything to that nature. But I have to say this, the NBA, when it comes to their jersey selections and with two teams that have very similar colored jerseys, let's just say the Atlanta Hawks and the Oklahoma City Thunder, not the primary jerseys of the Oklahoma City Thunder, since their primary jerseys are that, teal, light blue color and their home whites. But with the way the NBA is nowadays with the jerseys, they have about 16 minimum that they can choose from on a game-to-game basis, whatever the case may be. But when I show you this is pretty bad. This happened within the last few days between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Atlanta Hawks. They played against each other in Oklahoma City. It's their home court, where Oklahoma decided to wear their alternate orange jerseys. The Atlanta Hawks are wearing their red road jerseys for this game. So as you can see, there's a very big contrast in those colors, and it hurts the eye to make you have to say, wait, who's playing who? Who's the home team? If you're watching that game. So this makes you feel a little good to know that a professional NBA team, two of them, mind you, had a problem where they couldn't fix it before the game It was fixed at halftime. Oklahoma switched out the orange to their home whites, which is what it should have been in the beginning. So whoever decided to do that, not your best moment. But it also brings you back to, you've had those moments where you've, hopefully put on at least a pair of pants before you leave the house that day. But if you, put on a different pair of socks, your shirt's inside out, something like that, hey, professional NBA teams have these kinds of issues too, which they really shouldn't. I mean, come on, guys. You can't put orange and red together like that. No, that's off limits. Don't do that. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell below to get notified when all the latest videos are posted on this channel, YouTube, BitChute, and Rumble. You can get the links to those channels at westsportsguy.com. All the social media links are there for you as well. Thank you, as always, for tuning in, and I will see you next time.